Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class, we have completely discussed about the topic of revolution of Earth around the Sun. And in this class, we will continue our discussion further. So friends, as you can see on the screen, the topic of today's class is seasons. So in this class, we will discuss about all the seasons in a very detailed manner. So as you can see on the screen, the diagram of winter season, summer season, spring season and autumn season. So in this class I will try to explain you in a very detailed manner the concept of seasons, and I will also explain you that what is the cause of reasons. Okay, so in this class we will discuss about the topic of seasons in a very detailed manner. So friends, let's begin. Friends, whenever we discuss any topic, so first of all, I say that first of all we need to know that what is the meaning of that topic. So first of all, the most basic question is that what is season or what are seasons, or we can also say that what is the meaning of season. Okay, so as here we are discussing about seasons, so first of all it is our duty to know that what is the meaning of seasons. Okay, so first of all I will try to explain you that what is the meaning of season or what is season. So friends, season means variation in weather conditions like temperature, pressure, precipitation, length of day, etc. from one part of year to another is season. Okay, so now what does it mean? So friends, all of you know that the temperature is very high in summer season. Okay, and the temperature is very less in winter season. And due to high temperature in summer season is very hot. And due to less temperature, due to low temperature in winter season is very cold. Okay, so you can see here that what happens, that there is a difference in the temperature conditions in summer season and winter season. Okay, similarly we can take other examples also. For example friends, you can observe that what happens in summers, that in summer season days are long. Okay, the duration of day or the length of day is long during summer season. Okay, and during winter season the duration of day is very short. Now on the other hand, what happens during summer season, that the duration of night, or we can also say that the length of night is very short, but during winter season the length of night is very long. Okay, so you can clearly see here that in summer season days are long and nights are short, whereas in winter season days are short and nights are long. So you can clearly see that what happens, that there is a variation in the duration of day from summer season to winter season. Okay, so this is what this definition means. So it is clearly written in this definition that what is season. So season means variation, difference. Okay, difference in the weather conditions like temperature. So you have seen here the example of temperature, pressure, precipitation, length of day, length of night, etc. from one part of year to another part of year is called season. So this is the meaning of season. This is the easiest and simplest meaning of season. So season means the variation in weather conditions like temperature, pressure, precipitation, length of day, length of night, etc. from one part of year to another is called as season. Now friends, after this the next most important question is that what is the reason behind the occurrence of seasons. Okay, now what does it mean? It means that what causes seasons to happen, what causes seasons to take place. Okay, so what is my next question? So my next question is that what is the reason behind seasons? Okay, or what causes seasons, or we can also say that why there are different seasons in different parts of a year. Okay, so what is my question? So are you now getting my question? So my question is that what is the reason behind seasons, what causes seasons, or why there are different seasons in the different parts of year. Okay, why seasons are changing. So this is my question. So friends, now let us try to get the answer of this question. So friends, the reason behind The seasons is the revolution of Earth on an tilted axis which is fixed all the times. Okay, so this is the reason behind the occurrence of seasons. This is the reason behind the changing of seasons. This is the reason behind the different seasons in different parts of year. And what is that reason? So that reason is the revolution of Earth on an tilted axis which is fixed all the times. Okay, and now what we have to do, we have to understand the meaning of this statement, that what this statement means. What is the meaning of this statement? So friends, in the previous classes I told you that what happens, let's suppose that this is sun. Okay, so let us suppose that here I am drawing the diagram of sun, and let's suppose that this is the orbit of Earth around the sun. Okay, and I told you that what is happening, that our Earth is revolving around the sun. Revolving around the sun means the Earth is moving around the sun. Okay, and the Earth is moving around the sun in a fixed path, and that fixed path is called as the orbit of Earth around the sun. Okay, so this is our planet Earth, and our planet Earth is moving around the sun. Now friends, in the previous classes, or specifically I can say that in the class when I taught you about the rotation of Earth, so in that class I taught you one concept, that the Earth is actually tilted on its axis. Okay, the Earth is tilted on its axis means, for example, if this is Earth, so I mean to say that the axis of rotation of Earth. Okay, so basically our Earth is doing, our Earth does many types of motion. For example, the one motion is that the Earth moves around the sun. One motion is that our Earth rotates on its own axis. Okay, like a top. Okay, so our Earth rotates on its own axis like a top. So what I mean to say, that the axis of rotation of Earth is not vertical. Okay, so this is not the axis of rotation of Earth. The axis of rotation of Earth is not vertical, but it is tilted at an angle. So if so let's suppose if this is our planet Earth, okay, then friends, this is the axis of the rotation of Earth. Okay, so if this is planet Earth, then this is the axis of rotation of Earth. So this is tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree. Okay, so now you know that our Earth is revolving around the sun. Okay, and our Earth is revolving around the sun on an, okay, our Earth is revolving around the sun on an tilted axis, means the axis of rotation of Earth is tilted. Okay, so the first thing here is that the Earth is moving around the sun, or the Earth is revolving around the sun. And the second thing is, the Earth is doing this motion around the sun on an tilted axis. Okay, Earth is doing this motion around the sun on an tilted axis, means the axis of rotation of Earth is not vertical, it is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree. Okay, so you can clearly see here, the Earth is not revolving like this. The Earth is revolving around the sun in this position, Okay, and friends, this motion of Earth around the sun, okay, listen to my words carefully, this revolution of Earth around the sun on an tilted axis causes the seasons. This causes the change in seasons from one part of year to another. Okay, so now are you getting my point? So I am saying that our Earth is revolving around the sun on an tilted axis, and this is causing, means the revolution of Earth around the sun on an tilted axis, this is causing the change in season from one part of year to another. And friends, after this, the third important point is that this tilted axis always remains fixed during the revolution of Earth around the sun. Now what does it mean? It means that, for example, here you can see in this diagram that the direction of tilt, okay, so Earth is tilted in this direction. So the Earth will always remain tilted in this direction only. For example, when the Earth will reach at this position, so the tilt will be like this. When the Earth will reach at this position, then the tilt will be like this. When the Earth will reach at this position, then the tilt will be like this. When the Earth will be at this position, then the tilt will be like this. And when the Earth will be at this position, then the tilt will be like this. So you can clearly see that the direction of tilt is fixed. the direction of tilt is not changing. And these are the three reasons which actually causes the change in season from one part of year to another. So the first reason is the revolution of earth around the sun. The second reason is the revolution of earth around the sun on a tilted axis. And the third reason is that the tilted axis is always fixed. Okay, so now we can say that what is the reason of seasons? So now you can say that, sir, the reason of seasons is the revolution of earth on a tilted axis which is fixed all the times. But friends, now you know that what is the reason of seasons. But now you need to know that why these things are causing the seasons to change. Okay, what is the effect of revolution? What is the effect of tilted axis? What is the effect of the fixed tilted axis on the seasons? Okay, so now we need to discuss. Now we need to know that why these factors, why these conditions are actually changing the seasons. So now let us discuss about them one by one clearly. So friends, for understanding this concept, let's suppose that this is sun. Okay, so let me draw it more clearly. So let's suppose that this is sun, and these are the sun rays coming towards the earth. Okay, so you can see in this diagram, these are the sun rays coming towards the earth. Okay, now friends, this is the side view of earth. Okay, so here we are seeing the earth from side. So this is the side view of earth. So let me write it. This is the side view of earth, and this is the top view of earth. Top view means, for example, let's suppose if we are viewing the earth from above the north pole. So you can see here north pole. So this is the top view of earth. Okay, now we will imagine one condition. So what is that condition? So let us imagine. So I just told you that what happens, that the axis of rotation of earth, the axis of rotation of earth is tilted. And how much it is tilted? So it is tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree. Okay, but now let us imagine one hypothetical condition. Let us imagine one imaginary condition. So what is that condition? So let us imagine that the axis of rotation of earth is vertical. The axis of rotation of earth is not tilted, it is vertical. So I know this is not the real thing, but just imagine for the sake of understanding. So in this diagram, let's suppose that this is the axis of rotation of earth. Okay, so this red line is the axis of rotation of earth. This is red line is the axis of rotation of earth. Now you can clearly see here that this is equator. Okay, so this line is equator. It is written also. Okay, this is Tropic of Cancer. Okay, you can see that this is Tropic of Cancer. Okay, and you can clearly see that this is 40 degree parallel of latitude. This is Arctic Circle. This is Tropic of Capricorn. This is 40 degrees south parallel of latitude. This is Antarctic Circle. This is North Pole, and this is South Pole. Okay. So friends, before teaching you this concept, I would like to teach you one more very important concept, which is actually very important for understanding this concept. So let's suppose friends that this is our sun. Okay, this is our sun. And let's suppose that this is our earth. Okay, so this is sun and this is earth. Now you can clearly see here that the one side of earth, okay, this side of earth, let's suppose that this is the first side of earth and this is the second side of earth. So you can clearly see here that what is happening, that the first side of earth is receiving the sunlight. Okay, you can see that first side of earth is getting the sun rays, is receiving the sunlight, while the second part of earth is not receiving any sunlight. The second part of earth is not receiving sunlight. Okay, so now let us draw one circle. So here it is looking like, okay, so this red line is a circle. So actually I have drawn it on 2 dimensions. That's why it is looking like a line. But when you will draw it on 3 dimensions, means when you will draw it on a sphere, then it will look like a circle. Okay, so now you can clearly see friends that this portion of earth is actually bright. this portion of earth is receiving sunlight. This portion of earth is actually illuminated by sunlight. But on the other hand, the part 2 means the other side of earth is under darkness. Okay, why? Because this side is not receiving sunlight at all. So this side of earth is under darkness. This side of earth is not receiving sunlight, but the first side is receiving sunlight, so this side is illuminated. Okay, or you can say that this portion of earth is receiving day. This portion of earth is experiencing day, and on the other hand, this portion of earth is experiencing night. So part 1 or portion 1 is experiencing day, while part 2 or portion 2 is experiencing night. Now friends, you can see that this red circle is actually separating the day part of earth from night part. Or we can also say that this red circle is separating the part of earth which is illuminated from the part of earth which is dark. Okay, so the circle which separates the day portion of earth from night, this circle is actually known as circle of illumination. Okay, so what this is called as? So this is called as the circle of illumination. So what is circle of illumination? So circle of illumination is that circle which separates the day portion of earth from night. Okay, so friends, now let us come back to our original problem. Okay, so we were discussing that, let's suppose this is sun. Okay, this is the side view of earth and this is the top view of earth, and we have imagined one thing, that the axis of rotation of earth is not tilted. The axis of rotation of earth is actually vertical. So friends, as I have explained you earlier, so let's suppose this is the part 1, this is the side 1, and this is the side 2 of earth. So you can clearly see here that the side 1 of earth is experiencing day. Okay, or we can say that it is receiving sunlight, so this is illuminated. Whereas you can clearly see that the side 2 of earth is experiencing night. Okay, means the side 2 of earth is under darkness. Okay, so side 2 is experiencing night, whereas side 1 is experiencing day, and they are separated by circle of illumination. Now friends, this, as you can clearly see in this diagram, this is equator. Okay, this is equator, 0 degree. Okay, so here you can see the length of day and length of night at different latitudes. So at equator you can clearly see that the length of day is 12 hours and the length of night is also 12 hours. Okay, now at the Tropic of Cancer you can see that the length of day is 12 hours and the length of night is also 12 hours. Now at 40 degree latitude also the length of day and length of night is 12 hours. At Arctic Circle also the length of day and length of night is 12 hours. Okay. Similarly, if we will check in southern hemisphere, then at Tropic of Capricorn the length of day is 12 hours and the length of night is equal to the length of day, means it is also 12 hours. At 40 degrees south, length of day and night is equal, means 12 hours. At Antarctic Circle the length of day is 12 hours and the length of night is also 12 hours. So what conclusion can you draw from this story? Okay, so from this story we can draw conclusion that if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, okay, if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, means if it is not tilted, if the axis of rotation of earth is not tilted, then what will happen? That all the latitudes, or we can say that all the places on the surface of earth will receive 12 hours day. Okay, all the places from equator to north pole and from equator to south pole, all the places on the surface of earth will experience 12 hours day and they will experience 12 hours night. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that if the axis of rotation of earth is not tilted, if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, then what will happen? That all the places on the surface of earth, means all the latitudes from equator to north pole and all the latitudes from equator to south pole, means all the places on the surface of earth will experience equal day and equal night, means the length of day will also be equal and the night length of night will also be equal. The length of day will be 12 hours and the length of night will be 12 hours. Okay, and this will happen for entire year. This will happen for all the 365 days in a year. But friends, now you will say that, sir, you are under wrong impression. Why? Because you will say that, sir, you have just told in the beginning of the lecture that what happens during winters. So you have told us, sir, that during winters the length of day is short and the length of night is high, or the nights are longer and days are shorter. But what happens during summers? So during summers the days are longer, the duration of day is long and the duration of nights is short. Okay, so you have told us in the beginning of the lecture, okay, that if seasons will change, so the duration of day and duration of night will also change. But here you are saying that the duration of day and duration of night will be equal for all the places on the surface of earth, and that will be equal to 12 hours. So my dear friends, the duration of day and duration of night can only be equal if the axis of rotation of earth, okay, so the duration of day and duration of night can only be equal throughout the year, can only be equal on all the 365 days only in the condition when the axis of rotation of earth is vertical. Okay, but what happens that the axis of rotation of earth is not vertical. The axis of rotation of earth is not vertical, but the axis of rotation of earth is tilted. The axis of rotation of earth is tilted, and that tilt is the tilt of angle 23.5 degree. Okay, and this tilt actually brings the difference in the duration of day and duration of night. Okay, this tilt actually results in the long days and short nights during summer and short days and long nights during winters. Okay, so actually the tilt of earth is very important for bringing the seasons. Okay, the tilt of earth is actually very important for bringing the changes in seasons. So if the earth is not tilted, if the axis of rotation of earth is not tilted, if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, then all the places on the surface of earth will experience 12 hours day and 12 hours night. Okay, but practically what happens? So practically what happens that the duration of day is shorter and duration of night is longer in winters, whereas the duration of day is longer and the duration of night is shorter during summers. So this is only possible when the axis of rotation of earth is tilted by some angle. Okay. So friends, after this, now let us imagine one more condition. So now, okay, so we have just studied first condition, and now and that condition was actually not real. That was just hypothetical condition. And now we will imagine a second condition, and actually this second condition is real. Now what is the second condition? So actually in this second condition there are many points. So the first point in the second condition is that the axis of rotation of earth is actually tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree. Okay, so what is the first condition? So the first condition here we are imagining that the axis of rotation of earth is tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree. Now the second condition, here we will imagine a second condition. So that second condition is that this tilted axis is always fixed. Okay, so you can see in this diagram that the direction of tilt is always in one direction. Okay, the earth is always tilted in one direction. So second condition is that that this tilt is always fixed. The direction of this tilt is always fixed. Now after that, the third condition here we will imagine. So this third condition is that the earth is moving around the sun. The earth is revolving around the sun. Okay, and actually friends, these are not imaginary conditions. This is the real condition which is happening. Okay, so this is the real condition of earth. This is the practical condition of earth. Okay, so we have seen a hypothetical condition in which the axis of rotation of earth was vertical, and we have seen that if the axis of rotation of earth will be vertical, then what will happen? That the duration of day and duration of night will be equal for all the places on all the 365 days of the year. Okay, means if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, then the happening of seasons is not possible. Why? Because for the seasons to take place, it is very important that the duration of days and duration of night should be different from one part of year to another. For example, we can say that during winters what happens, that days are longer, but during winters the days are shorter, and during summers the days are longer. So for seasons to take place, for seasons to change, it is very important that from one part of year to another the duration of day should be different, the duration of night should be different. But I have actually explained you this, and you all have seen that if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, then what will happen, then the duration of day will be equal to duration of night, which will be equal to 12 hours. Okay, for all the places on the surface of earth and for all the 365 days. Means if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, then the happening of seasons is not possible at all. Okay, so now we will take another condition. Okay, so now the another condition is that now we will consider that the axis of rotation of earth is actually tilted, and it is tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree. And now we will check that whether this condition is actually satisfactory, whether this condition is sufficient for the happening of seasons or not. Okay, and along with this condition we have taken two more conditions, that the axis of rotation of earth is tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree, and this tilt is fixed for all the 365 days. This tilt is fixed in one direction for the entire journey of earth. Okay, and the earth is moving around the sun, the earth is revolving around the sun. Okay, so now based on these three conditions, now we will see that how the seasons actually takes place, how the seasons actually changes. So friends, now let us imagine the okay, so we know that the earth is revolving around the sun, so you can see that in this direction the earth is moving around the sun. Okay, so you can clearly see that the earth is moving around the sun. Okay, so now we will take four positions of earth. So let's say that this is the first position of earth, then earth will reach here, means on second position, then this is the third position of earth, this is the fourth position of earth, and after that earth will again reach on the first position. Now the date for the first position is December 22. Okay, so you can see in this diagram that the date for the first position is December 22. Now you can see that here the axis of rotation of earth is tilted by an angle of 23.5 degree. Okay, now this is, what is this? This is the circle of illumination. Okay, so this red line is actually circle of illumination. So circle of illumination means that this is the day part and this is the night part. Okay, okay, so I am rubbing it. Okay, and then and this red line is the axis of rotation of earth. Okay, so this red line is the axis of rotation of earth, but is tilted at an angle. Now friends, this is 0 degree equator. Okay, and let's suppose that this is Tropic of Cancer. Okay, and let's suppose that this is Arctic Circle, means 66.5 degree, and this is North Pole. Okay, and if we will see on the southern hemisphere, then let's suppose that this is Tropic of Capricorn, and let's suppose that this is Antarctic Circle and this is South Pole. So now in this position you can clearly see that the earth is tilted away from sun. Okay, you can so this is northern hemisphere and this is southern hemisphere. Okay, so I have taught you the concept of hemispheres in the last class, so you can clearly see that this is northern hemisphere and this is southern hemisphere. So here you can clearly see friends that what is happening, that the northern hemisphere is tilted away from sun. Okay, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from sun. Okay, you can see that the northern hemisphere is away from sun, whereas this southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. Okay, the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun and the northern hemisphere is tilted away from sun. So what will happen? So now you can see So friends, here I have explained you that here the northern hemisphere is tilted away from sun and the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. So now I will draw a separate diagram and then we will discuss about this position separately in a very detailed manner, and then I will explain you that what will happen. So friends, before discussing about this position of Earth in the orbit, first of all I would like to teach you one very important concept. Okay, and that concept is the angle of incidence of sun rays. And if you will understand this concept, then definitely you will easily understand the meaning and the concept of seasons. So let's suppose, okay, so first of all we will discuss about this diagram and then we will discuss about this diagram. Okay, so now let's suppose friends that this is the sun. Okay, let's suppose that this is the position of sun, and let's suppose that this is ground. Okay, and let's suppose that these are the sun rays. Okay, so this is a sun ray and this is ground. So let me draw it more clearly. So here you can say that this sun ray has fallen vertically on the ground. Okay, and what is the angle of incidence? So this green line is ground and this orange ray is sun ray. So you can clearly see that the angle of incidence is 90 degree. Okay, now friends, after this let's suppose that this is ground. Okay, let's suppose that this is ground and sun ray have fallen on the ground like this. Okay, so now you will say that the sun ray have fallen on the ground at some angle. So okay, or the sun rays are slant. Sun rays are slant, or the sun ray have fallen on the ground at some angle. So you can clearly see here that the angle between sun ray and the ground is how much? Is, let's suppose, 60 degree. Okay, now let's take third example. So now in the third case, let's suppose that the sun ray have fallen on the ground like this. Okay, so like this sun ray have fallen on the ground. So here you can clearly see that sun rays have become more slant, means the angle between ground and the sun rays is, let's suppose, 30 degree. Okay, now what is the application of this? So now let's suppose that this is diagram number 1 and this is diagram number 2. Now friends, you can clearly see that this is the diagram of June, means this is the diagram of summer season, and this is the diagram of December, means this is the diagram of winter season. Okay, so this is the diagram of winter season. Now friends, in summer season or in June, what happens? That sun rays are more vertical. More vertical means the angle of incidence of sun rays with ground is close to 90 degree. But during winters, what happens? That the angle of incidence of sun rays with ground decreases. Let's suppose here the angle of incidence of sun rays is, let's suppose, 30 degree. Okay, so here the sun rays are vertical, whereas here the sun rays are slant. Now friends, if sun rays are vertical, means if the angle of incidence is close to 90 degree, then what happens? Then you can clearly see in this diagram that sun rays have covered the smaller area. But if sun rays are falling at some small angle, okay, if sun rays are falling more slant, for example, here the sun rays are falling at the angle of 30 degree, then you can clearly see that the sun rays have covered a large area. Now what is its effect or what is its significance? So friends, what happens? That the heat carried by the sun rays is same. Okay, so sun rays are carrying the same heat, but here you can see that in summers the same sun rays are covering smaller area, but in winters the same sun rays are covering large area. Okay, so now I will give you one example. For example, let's suppose if I am saying you that please go and make 4 chapatis. Okay, then definitely it is very easy for you to make these 4 chapatis. But on the other hand, if I am saying you that go and make 40 chapatis, then definitely it is very difficult for you to make 40 chapatis. Similarly, because the energy carried by you is same. Okay, so in the case of 4 chapatis as well as in the case of 40 chapatis, the energy carried by you is same. Similarly, in winters as well as in summers, the heat carried by the sun rays is same. But in summer season, the sun rays are falling more vertically. Means they are falling close to 90 degree. So what is happening that they are covering a small area. So now the sun rays have to heat a small area. So it is very easy for these sun rays to heat a small area. So what happens that the entire heat of sun rays is transferred in a very small area, due to which the ground becomes very hot. But in winters what happens that the same sun rays have to heat a very large area, and now it is very difficult for the sun rays to heat a very large area, due to which the ground remains relatively cold, and due to this reason summers are hot and winters are cool. Now friends, after this let us move forward to this diagram. Now here also again we will imagine that the axis of rotation of earth is not tilted, okay, or the axis of rotation of earth is vertical. So if the axis of rotation of earth is vertical, and let's suppose that this is the position of sun, okay, and this is earth. So here you can see that the sun rays are falling vertically at the equator, okay, means the angle of incidence between sun rays and the ground is 90 degree, okay. But as we are moving from equator to polewards, okay, for example let's suppose if we are moving from equator to Tropic of Cancer or from equator to Tropic of Capricorn, then you can see that the sun rays have become slant, means the angle of incidence between sun rays and ground have decreased. For example, let's suppose now it is 70 degree. Now it is 70 degree, okay. Similarly, when we will move from Tropic of Cancer to polewards, then we can see that the angle of incidence have become more low. For example, let's suppose 30 degree. Here also let's suppose 30 degree. And when we will move to North Pole and South Pole, then the angle of incidence will become 0. Okay, the angle of incidence will become 0 at North Pole and South Pole. Now when you will apply this concept, when you will apply the concept which we have learned here on this diagram, then you can clearly say that, sir, as the sun rays are falling at an angle of 90 degree, as sun rays are falling vertically, as the angle of incidence between sun rays and ground is 90 degree at equator, so the equator will will receive maximum heat. So the equator will be hottest. The equator will receive maximum heat. Now when we will move from equator to polewards, means when we are moving from equator to either North Pole or when we are moving from equator to South Pole, then what is happening that the angle of incidence of sun rays is decreasing. As we can see in the diagram that the angle of incidence has become 0 at the poles. So now you will say that, sir, as the angle of incidence of sun rays is decreasing from equator to polewards, so as we will move from equator to either pole, then what will happen? Then the amount of heat received by the surface will decrease. Okay, the amount of heat received by the surface will decrease. Okay, so this is the concept of the angle of incidence and heat. Now let's move forward to our original concept. So friends, now let us discuss about the position of December solstice. Okay, means this is the position of earth in the month of December. So this is sun. Okay, this is our sun and these are sun rays. Okay, I have tried to make the diagram, but kindly cooperate because the diagram I know that it is not so clear. Okay, now friends, this red line is 0 degree, means this is equator. Now we know that this is, okay, so this black line is 23.5 degree north, means this is Tropic of Cancer. Okay, now this line is 66.5 degree north, means this is Arctic Circle and this is North Pole. Now similar to that, this is 23.5 degree south, means this is Tropic of Capricorn. Now this is 66.5 degree south, means this is Antarctic Circle and this is what we call as South Pole. Okay, now this red line, this vertical red line, okay, I am talking about this vertical red line. This is circle of illumination. So just now I have taught you about the topic of circle of illumination. Okay, and this blue line is the axis of rotation of earth which is tilted. This blue line is the axis of rotation of earth which is tilted. Okay, now friends, if you will observe this diagram carefully, then you can easily say that sun rays are falling vertically on Tropic of Cancer. So you can clearly measure the angle. So here angle is 90 degree. So what is happening? That the sun rays are falling vertically on Tropic of Capricorn. Sorry, mistakenly I have said Tropic of Cancer. It is Tropic of Capricorn. So in December, in the month of December, what happens? That sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Capricorn, means the angle of incidence of sun rays is 90 degree at the Tropic of Capricorn, means at 23.5 degrees south. Okay, so in this diagram you can clearly see that sun rays are falling at an angle of 90 degrees. Sun rays are falling vertically at the Tropic of Capricorn. Now as sun rays are falling vertically, it means that in this position the Tropic of Capricorn will receive the maximum heat. Okay, in this position the Tropic of Capricorn will receive the maximum heat. Why? Because the angle of incidence of sun rays is 90 degree. But friends, you can clearly observe in this diagram that when you will move from Tropic of Capricorn to North Pole, or when you will move from Tropic of Capricorn to South Pole, then what will happen? That the angle of incidence of sun rays will decrease. For example, at Antarctic Circle, means at 66.5 degrees south, you can say that the angle of incidence of sun rays is let's suppose 50 degree. Okay, now similar to that, you can say at equator the angle of incidence of sun rays is, let's suppose, 70 degree. Okay, now what does it mean? So it means that when we will move from Tropic of Capricorn to North Pole, or when we will move from Tropic of Capricorn to South Pole, then what will happen? That the angle of incidence of sun rays will decrease. So angle of incidence of sun rays will decrease. It directly means that the amount of heat which they are receiving, it will decrease. Okay, so the amount of heat which they will receiving, it will decrease. Okay, now friends, as the angle of incidence is less at the equator, it means that in the northern hemisphere, okay, you can clearly see here that the entire northern hemisphere, the angle of incidence is very less, whereas in the entire southern hemisphere the angle of incidence is relatively high. Okay, because we can clearly see here that the angle of incidence is 90 degree at Tropic of Capricorn, which is lying in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so what conclusion we can draw from this story? So from this story we can draw a conclusion that in December, what happens? That the angle of incidence of sun rays is more vertical, means it is close to 90 degree in southern hemisphere, whereas the angle of incidence is more slant, means it is more close to 0 degree in northern hemisphere. Now as the angle of incidence is more vertical in southern hemisphere, so southern hemisphere receives more heat, and as the angle of incidence is close to 0 degree in northern hemisphere, so it receives less heat, due to which what happens? The southern hemisphere experiences summer season and the northern hemisphere experiences winter season. So in December what happens? That there are winters in the northern hemisphere. In December there are winters in the northern hemisphere, and there is summer season. There is summer season in the southern hemisphere, and we know that we all are living in the northern hemisphere. Our country India lies in the northern hemisphere. That's why we face winters in the December. Now friends, after this there is one more thing. So here in the red color, this is you can clearly see that this is the circle of illumination. Okay, and this white portion is the day, and this greenish portion is night. Okay, means this green portion is under night, or it is under darkness, and this white portion is under day, means it is under sunlight. Now if we have to measure the duration of day and night, so first of all let us check at equator. So when you will see at equator, then you can see that the duration of day, the length of day and length of night are equal. Okay, so we can say that at 0 degree, means at equator, the duration of day and the duration of night is equal in December. Okay, but now when we will move in northern hemisphere, so let us check for 23.5 degree north, means for the Tropic of Cancer. So when we will move at the Tropic of Cancer, means at 23.5 degree north, then you will find that what is happening, that you can clearly see here that the duration of day is less and the duration of night is long. Okay, you can see in this diagram that the duration of night is long and the duration of day is less. Means for the Tropic of Capricorn, the duration of night is longer than the duration of day. Means nights are longer than day. Now when we will move at the at the Arctic Circle, then at the Arctic Circle means in these regions, okay, in these regions which are near to Arctic Circle, again you can see that the duration of night is longer than the duration of day. Okay, and friends, if you will move beyond Arctic Circle, means if you will move beyond this region, then you can see that the entire portion is green. It means that the entire portion is under night. Okay, so what happens that on the December solstice, okay, so the date is actually 22nd of December. Now the date varies, so in some books you will also find 21st of December, okay, and when you will Google it, then also you will find 21st of December, but some books mention it 22nd of December. So there is no need to quarrel on the date, we only need to know December solstice. Okay, so we will also call it as December solstice because there is a dispute in the matter of dates in different books. So it is actually not important for us that whether it is 21st of December or 22nd of December. The more important thing is that this is December solstice. So when you will see the condition of December solstice, then what is happening that at 0 degree, the duration of day is equal to duration of night. But for the portion, means for the portion of Earth from 0 degree to 66.5 degree north, from 0 degree means from equator to Arctic Circle, from 0 degree to 66.5 degree north, what is happening that the duration of night is longer than the duration of day. Okay, and when you will move beyond 66.5 degree north, means from 66.5 degree north to the North Pole, you will find that this region will experience 24 hours night. Okay, so you can clearly see in this diagram that this entire region is under green color, means this entire region will experience night for 24 hours. There will be no day, there will be only darkness for 24 hours. Okay, so this is a clear cut division. So what happens in the December solstice, that at equator the duration of night is equal to duration of day, but when we will move from 0 degree to North Pole, then what happens that the length of night increases in comparison with the length of day. Okay, so from 0 degree to 66.5 degree north, what happens that nights are longer than day, but from 66.5 degree north to 90 degree north, what happens that this region experiences 24-hour nights. Okay, now friends, after this let us check for southern hemisphere. Okay, so when we will check for southern hemisphere, then we can clearly see here. Okay, so first of all let us check for 23.5 degree south, means for Tropic of Capricorn. So friends, at Tropic of Capricorn you can clearly see that the duration or the length of day is higher than the length of night. Okay, means we can say that here the days are longer than night. But when you will move further, okay, means when you will move from 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south, means when you will move from equator towards the Antarctic Circle, when you will move from equator towards Antarctic Circle, then you will found that as you are moving towards the Antarctic Circle, then the duration of day is increasing as compared to the duration of night. Okay, for example, if we will look at 23.5 degree south, then days are longer than night. But when you will look at 40 degree south, then the duration of day will be much higher than the duration of night. Okay, so here the duration of day is longer than night, but in comparison to 23.5 degree south, the day will be much longer at 40 degree south and night will be much shorter at 40 degree south. Okay, okay, so what will happen that from 0 degree means equator to 66.5 degree south means Antarctic Circle, the duration of day will be longer than the duration of night. But beyond 66.5 degree south means from 66.5 degree south to South Pole, what will happen that this region will experience 24 hours day, means there will be no night, there will be the day for 24 hours. So you can clearly see here that there is 24 hours day, there is no night beyond 66.5 degree south to South Pole. Okay, so friends, Now for December solstice. Okay, so and I told you one thing, that please don't make dispute on the date, because in some books it is given 21st of December and in some books it is given 22nd of December, and when you will search on Google, then you will find that it is 21st of December, but many standard books mentions the date as 22nd of December. So we are only concerned with that, we are discussing about December solstice. Now friends, we have seen here. Okay, so now let's summarize what we have learned so far. Okay, so let's suppose this is for northern hemisphere and this is for southern hemisphere. Okay, so we have seen that what is happening in northern hemisphere, that angle of incidence of sun rays is less, means it is close to zero. Okay, this is the first thing. And I have told you that if the angle of incidence of sun rays is less, then what happens, that if the angle of incidence of sun rays is less, then what happens, that this region receives less heat. Now the second thing is that the duration of day is very less as compared to the duration of night. Okay, so the second thing happening in northern hemisphere is that the duration of day is much shorter than the duration of night. Okay, and on the other hand, if we will examine the position of southern hemisphere, then you will find that the first thing is that the angle of incidence is very high. Okay, angle of incidence is high, means it is close to 90 degree, and I have explained you that if angle of incidence is high, means this area will receive more heat. Now friends, the second thing which we observed in southern hemisphere is that the duration of day is much longer as compared to the duration of night, and I told you that beyond Arctic Circle, means from Arctic Circle to North Pole, there will be night for 24 hours, and from 66.5 degrees south to 90 degrees south, means from Antarctic Circle to South Pole, there will be day for 24 hours. So you can clearly see that what is happening in southern hemisphere, that the duration of day is longer than the duration of night. And friends, we all know that the surface of earth receives sunlight only during day. So the first conclusion we can draw, that the duration of day, okay, the southern hemisphere is receiving more day and northern hemisphere is not receiving more day. Okay, means the duration of day is more in southern hemisphere and the duration of day is less in northern hemisphere. Moreover, the angle of incidence is less in northern hemisphere, that's why it is receiving less heat, and the angle of incidence is high in southern hemisphere, that's why it is receiving much higher heat. Okay, so what happens, that the entire southern hemisphere becomes very hot, because first of all it is receiving more heat, and secondly it is receiving heat for more time due to longer days. And what happens in northern hemisphere, that it becomes very cold. Why it becomes cold? Because first of all it is receiving less heat, and secondly it is receiving heat for less time. Why? Because the duration of day is short. So what happens, that the entire northern hemisphere experiences winter season and the entire southern hemisphere experiences summer season during December. Okay, so this is the meaning of December solstice. So friends, in this class we have successfully discussed about this, means position number 1, and this position number 1 is called as December solstice or winter solstice. Okay, so this is called as December solstice or winter solstice. So in this class we have successfully discussed about December solstice and winter solstice. Okay, and I have told you that in December what will happen, that the northern hemisphere will receive winters. The northern hemisphere will experience winters because it is tilted away from sun, whereas the southern hemisphere, okay, the southern hemisphere will experience summer season. Why? Because it is tilted towards the sun, it is located towards the sun. Okay, so this is the position of earth in December solstice or winter solstice. Okay, now friends, after December solstice then comes the March equinox, and after March equinox then comes the June solstice, and after June solstice then comes the September equinox, and after September equinox then again comes the December solstice or what we call as winter solstice, and June solstice is also known as summer solstice. Okay, and December solstice is also known as winter solstice. Now friends, I think the class has become so long, so now we will discuss about March equinox, June solstice and September equinox, or we can say that spring equinox, summer solstice or autumn equinox in the next class. Okay, and in the next class I will finish the topic of seasons. So in this class we have successfully discussed about the winter solstice or December solstice. Now in the next class we will discuss about the remaining position number 2, 3 and 4, and then the topic of seasons will be completed. So friends, that's all for today. Now we will meet in next class. Till then, stay indoors, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all. Okay, now we will meet in next class. Thank you.